Hey everyone, welcome back to Cosplay Stream. It's been a while. It's only been a week. Last week was kind of boring because it was just painting. Did some work over the weekend, as you might notice from the close-up camera. That obviously more painting has been done and pretty much finished for those particular pieces I worked on last week, which is a good thing because now I can move on to some of the props that arrived in the mail for me. But as you can see, the headpiece is now, the earpieces are now finished. It's got that nice glossy feel because I didn't paint on this side. I painted on the other side. And so looks ugly and everything, but this looks nice and glossy and kind of smooth. And so we take this earpiece here, we just lay it on top like that. There we go. I'm gonna have to get rid of this little nub here, but that's pretty much it. So you can see from here at this angle, we have exactly what we want. So I just have to attach it, but the thing is, these are still functioning headphones that still work, and so I want to be able to access these parts after I'm done with this call, like later on, because there are things in here that I need access, and if I put the earpieces on, I can no longer access those functions. So I'll have to figure out how to attach those pieces on later, but that is something I'm probably not going to do tonight. Just wanted to show kind of progress on those. The glasses are done. There they are. Red frame, glasses, sunglasses. And thank you all again for, so that's kind of just the progress news, recap news, announcement stuff. Thank you all for coming during the past month of October for Terror Tuesdays. The season finale last week was such a blast. We had so much fun. And the reason why there's delay on the release for that is because I was out of town over the weekend. I was busy. Life just kind of caught up with the stuff. And also, I was kind of waiting on footage from the other people that had recorded because I wanted to do a little bit of extra stuff in terms of the recording process. My part, everything that I wanted to show is done, but then I started playing with post-production stuff and adding things here and there. I was like, I need everyone else's footage for that. So I'm hoping to get that done and released this week. I know last week was very empty in terms of streaming and YouTube uploads, just because it was a crazy week and hectic week. So hang in there, sit tight. The season finale of Terror Tuesday, where we played Dead by Daylight, will be coming out this week. I promise. I know I said that last week, and I'm sorry for breaking that promise, but this week I will get that sorted out. I was actually half tempted to make this stream me working on that video because I've done that in the past. So yeah, just again, sit tight and I will get that sorted out and done with. But that all said and done, since it was a season finale of Terror Tuesdays, we're now changing gears a little bit since Halloween in October is done. And this was something in the back of my mind. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. It all kind of depended on how well Terror Tuesday went. You could say Terror Tuesday was the pilot for Team Up Tuesdays, because alliteration, who doesn't love it? Team Up Tuesday is going to be the same principle. It's just it removes that horror game, the horror themed aspect of it. That doesn't mean we won't play Left 4 Dead or Dead by Daylight or whatnot. Again, it just opens up our inventory of what other games we will be playing. Tomorrow we'll be playing Ultimate Chicken Horse with J-Jo, Flex, Orm, and myself. Next week, we don't know who's going to be playing, who's available yet, but it will be more than likely Ruby Grim Eclipse. And then after that, we're still figuring out what games we all have in common without breaking our bank budgets to just buy games just for this. So there's that, and we'll see how things go. But tune in tomorrow for Team Up Tuesdays as we play Ultimate Chick Horse. And we actually did some test runs yesterday, kind of figuring out who's going to be front runners in that game. But the thing that I'm going to be working on today, if you might notice, there's some scraps and whatnot lying around, because while I was working on finishing the paint jobs for all of that, I got some stuff in the mail. So, two things that I will more than likely be working on these next few couple of weeks up until Anime USA is probably this guy. Nope, wrong side. As you know, Bonsai wields a shamisen. And this arrived in the mail. And there we go. This arrived in the mail over the weekend. So it is a shamisen that's been cut. The skin is cut. That's the only way I could really get it for cheap, because this is a musical instrument, and an actual shamisen is going to range 300 plus upwards. For a functioning shamisen, which means I would have bought it and I would not have to do anything to it. And if I really wanted to, I could learn how to play it, which I'll tell you is highly tempting. Shamisens are actually one of my... The music with shamisens is one of my favorite types of music. Like Yoshida Brothers is one of my favorite musicians for this type of music. It was highly tempting, but unfortunately where I live, there's very hard to acquire a teacher and lessons. So I would have to be self-taught, which is fine. But I just don't have the time right now with cosplay. maybe when I'm done. Maybe after Anime USA. So I bought this one on eBay for a lot cheaper. For like 60-70 bucks. And the reason being is there's no strings, there are no pegs, there's no bridge to hold the strings on, no latching system for the strings down here, and the skin is cut not only on this side but on the back as well. The very fact that this is going to be used for cosplay means I'm going to have to probably damage this, so I don't know if this guy will ever see actual music playing ever again, which is kind of disheartening for music lovers, and I'm really sorry for that. But it's going from musical art to cosplay art. It's still in the family of art, so I hope you won't get too mad at me for this. And it was kind of helpful that I could access the inside of this, because since I cannot play a shamisen, what I'm thinking about doing is installing a speaker in here that can Bluetooth to a player or whatnot. And so I may not actually be playing the music, but it will sound like music is still playing. So this will basically be turned into a shamisen shaped speaker. That is how I'm going to let this beautiful instrument continue its life in music. It just won't be creating the music. It'll be playing, but it'll still be playing. It'll still be involved in music. So that being said, I actually have to regrettably destroy this a little bit, which you actually kind of have to do anyways, because if I were to actually repair this, I'd have to actually remove the skin. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be removing all the skin, and because it's for cosplay, and I couldn't actually afford the actual like skin for this stuff, I'm actually going to be using kind of this card stock. It's not quite the same color, but it's gonna have to be as close as I can get. And so I'm going to be removing the skin and then tracing out the shape of the shamisen onto this and transposing it onto the instrument. From there, I'm actually going to try to start working on the bridge as well, which goes right here. I've got this yellow thread, which I will be utilizing for the actual stringing, so it makes it look like it won't be able to play, but it'll be able to simulate that stringing. So there is that. I'll have to build the pegs up here. So basically I got to build the pegs, the strings, reskin it, the bridge, and then there's a piece down here. There's a cording, a rope cording here that the strings attach to. So that'll have to get built as well. Once that is all built, then from this side, the back side, I'll also have to remove this as well. But I'm going to start installing the electronics for speakers. And that said, I'm actually probably going to add this to my electronics panel. Well, LED panel, but it's good to have other electronics in here. I might have to do a little bit more cleaning up on this thing, such as this piece here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, this here. I may or may not remove it. There's actually supposed to be a pad that goes here, because when you play it, you're supposed to be playing it and it just rests. So it should be here. Like this is how I'm playing. And then I also have to create the bachi, which is the pick for it. So I've got a number of things to work on for this. So there's that. I'm actually got, like I said, I've got some scrap wood here that I'm going to try to use to make either the bridge for the strings or the bachi, or the pick. I don't have owugh to make any of the pegs, so I'm going to have to go to the craft store, get some dowel rods, and trim them down to size. And I also have to make some measurements, so make sure I get the right size of dowel rods. So there's that. Now, so that this stays in frame, and since I'm not working on this, this actually comes apart. So that's nice because it makes transporting this thing a lot easier. It makes working on this thing a lot easier. So I'll be working on this, and yeah, so we'll just do that number there. That all said, the other item I got in the mail is not cosplay related, but it's still something I look forward to working on. It's been something I've been wanting to get for a while, and then I found out that they're going to be discontinuing it, so I was like, I better get it now while supplies last. And that is this guy. So I'm going to use the close-up camera so you can see it better. It is Orange Modworks Immortal Longstrike Modification Kit. Because this is my Nerf gun. I mod Nerf guns. I love Nerf guns. It is a hobby of mine. I don't have a lot compared to some collectors and enthusiasts, but I do have more than most standard people. This is one of my favorites because this is painted, and this has been slightly modified with the air restrictor removed. The last Nerf war I was in with Canny, Puka, and Jejo, along with, I believe, Saiyan, I did not find out until later that this guy, it survived the war, but somewhere along the way, between when I left their place and coming home, the gun broke. And what I mean by broke is, if you look right here, and if I pull that back, see how this is moving? But this piece right here, you can see it right there. That's plastic that's supposed to be connected to. Oh, come on, there we go. See, that piece is supposed to be connected right here, and that has detached now. It's broken. So this gun is actually useless. Come on. There we go. But yeah, that's supposed to be connected like that, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be connected like that and move independently. It's moving independently. It's moving together right now because my finger's underneath it, kind of guiding it. So it kind of mimics that. So That was part of the reason I've been wanting to get it, and I told myself I will get the modification kit when the internals on this one break. Well, the internals on this one have finally broken, and I just happened to check the other day the website, and they're saying, yeah, this is going to get discontinued. So if you wish to order it now while supplies last. So that will be something I'll be working on either on a cosplay stream when there's kind of an off day, probably after AUSA. Actually, definitely after AUSA. I don't have time for that right now. As easy as that could probably be, I don't have time for that right now. So I'll probably save that for after AUSA for cosplay streams. That being said, in the foreseeable future, what it'll be is I'll be working on the shamisen pretty much up until AUSA, because that's the only real major thing left. He does have a sword. If I can finish things in time, I will do the sword. If not, oh well. I'm just gonna have to live with it and just make the sword later. So once that happens, so I'll work on the shamisen up until AUSA for cosplay streams, have AUSA happen, and then work on this until that is finished. Work on this guy until it is finished and assembled, and then I will probably take a holiday. Then the cosplay streams will take a holiday hiatus until after the new year. The other streams will probably still continue, but the cosplay stream will probably be on hiatus because unless other cosplays that I'm working on come through. But that's kind of the schedule from now to the end of the year for the cosplay streams. The schedule for Team Up Tuesday streams, I just said, tomorrow's Ultimate Chicken Horse, next week's probably gonna be Ruby Groom Eclipse. We'll figure out after that, but we're pretty much gonna we're gonna keep running with this because we're all having a lot of fun with it, and it's a lot of fun. I just said a lot of fun, but it seems to be pretty successful. So that'll be that, and then Wednesday D&D streams will keep on going as per usual. Just last week we had someone sick, and I was just swamped with so much real life stuff that I was like, we were just like, let's just take a break. We'll take a break from that for that week, and then we'll resume. So I'll talk to the DM and the other players, and we should be good to go for this week. That is the life of D&D. Sometimes you just got to take a break from it because life happens. So that is cosplay progress. That is announcements. And who knows how much whatever I've gone over, and I've been talking for a good 20 some odd minutes. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start working on the shamisen. Alright, so what I need to do is basically rip this skin off. This is painful. And you know what? In hindsight, I probably it is too late now for that piece. I shall salvage it for now, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. I want to try to leave the edgings, and I didn't even think about that until now. do want to get rid of some of this excess glue. Now we're going to flip this over and trim off this other side. Oop, I'm going into wood. Alright, is it worth salvaging this? Let's see. Yeah, we can give it a try. Don't know how well this glue will work, but we're going to give it a try. And you know what? No, it's not going to work. I can tell already. Because it's so warped and damaged now. Okay. No. I'm not going to worry about it. Perfectly fine. We'll wing it off somehow. Okay. That, well, it's not too bad. It's gonna be worse right around over here, but not bad. Not bad. Could be worse. Alright. So, what I'm going to actually do... Yeah. Okay, so. Hope this works. Alright. I'm gonna get some scrap paper real quick. Hang on just a second. Alright, so since I'm waiting for glue to dry, I'm going to go ahead and take this off camera, lay it down, put some weights and clamps on it so it's a nice solid seal, and then we'll move on to the next item. Alright, so like I said, just putting some weights on it so it's all said and done there. This part, the back part, I can always install later. Alright, so the glasses are done. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put these on. The easiest thing would be just to hot glue it. But again, as I stated, I want to be able to use these guys again in the future. Oh. Which way do these go? Oh, okay. Dang, I just lost the reference picture. I think they go this way, which means I gotta cut off this nub. Yeah. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably just hot glue it on and then just rip them off later, I suppose, if I don't use too much hot glue. Yeah, why not? Okay. And then while that's heating up, we'll go ahead and hello Varlon, my UK friend. Hey, saying hi on the UK side. Um, you missed a little bit of the earlier stuff, but I was working on putting together a shamisen, or taking an old busted up shamisen and prepping it for a cosplay for bonsai. I had actually just removed the old skin and was attaching some cardstock, as it were, to kind of simulate that. Um, so yeah, and what I'm doing now is putting the earpieces onto the actual headphone. I'm not gonna permanently glue it on or use a lot of hot glue, since these headphones still work, and if I use these earbuds, it's going to cover up, as you can see, these control buttons on them, so it would almost render it useless. So I'm just going to use like 2 dabs of hot glue just to keep it on there, and be done with that. I'm not really going to repeat myself too much, because I went like 20 minutes discussing everything that I was going to be doing, as well as like future plans and whatnot of the cosplay props that I'm working on, like the shamisen. It's an actual legitimate shamisen, but because it was used and beat up and needed a lot of repair, I got it fairly cheap. But because of that, I'm gonna dissect it and kind of play with it and whatnot, and basically turn it into a speaker. So I'm gonna have a Bluetooth speaker inside it to play music. Okay, well, hi, and tell everyone else I said hi. I'm just waiting for hot glue gun to activate, heat up, but also probably start planning ahead to make the bridge piece of the shamisen. So, because I could technically buy that online for like $50, which means I would have paid the same amount of money that I paid for that thing for a little itty bitty thing. So I'm just going to try and make it myself, and hopefully it works out all well. Okay, so actually, looking at that now, probably want to make it like that. Okay, yeah, we'll do it that way. So I'm going to take these 3 pieces, glue them together to make the base. That's way too much glue. Yep, that was way too much glue. Okay, if it's way too much glue, because then I can just do... I'll just move this with the... Oh, okay. Yeah. No, don't... I mean, I appreciate you guys coming and whatnot and visiting. Um, you know, the cosplay stream is just kind of an hour long, me working on cosplay. As you see, I've made some progress since last stream. But yeah, I also was like, come see the Tuesday stream when I'm playing video games with my friends, and Wednesdays when I'm playing D&D with other friends. So I'm just gonna put this on a drying rack, so I'll be right back. Okay, the hot glue is going and flowing. So I'm just going to do a little bit of dab in here. Oop, too big of a dab. Oh! Well, that one was unexpected. Probably hold that in place for a little bit longer, just to let the hot glue set. Alright. Well, there you have it. There's the headphones. Voila. do is just... And there we go. The headphones are on. And that should do the trick. Let's go ahead and unplug this. And that should be just enough to keep it there. But also... Oh man, well, okay. Good. Good. It didn't attach properly, so we're gonna have to re-glue this one. Yeah, definitely gonna have some kind of glue gun or something on me, just in case. There we go. It had fallen below the lip, so that's why. Alright, well, I lost some paint, but I don't care. I can always touch that up later if I really want to fix it. It's such an innocuous spot. But yeah, like I totally get you, Vorlon. Like I said, I'm only using 2 dabs because, as I said earlier, just so I can rip them off easily if I ever want to use the headphones properly ever again. So where are we on time? Oh, okay. So we're actually... And it is mainly because of... so the suggestion was given, like, use super glue or magnets to attach the domes just to make it easier on and off. And like, but it's probably too much effort for little gain, or would probably interfere with the signal. And it's actually because of the signal is why I'm not doing it. So I had thought about using the magnets and whatnot, but I realized it will probably interfere with the signal, so I'm not going to use the magnets. I had thought about a couple of other things and whatnot, but I was just like, nah. Easiest thing would be just take 2 dabs of hot glue, top, bottom, slap it on. Hot glue isn't necessarily the strongest of glues, so it's easy, especially to plastics and non-porous surfaces, so it's easy to rip right off. So I'm not too concerned about it. So, but yeah, I'll probably need to keep like a hot glue gun handy when it comes to the time for the convention and whatnot, just to make sure all the pieces stick together. And let's see, where are we on time? We are actually 50 minutes in. And I've actually already started to work on that. But I can start work on that. So, actually no, I can't, because I have to wait for that base of the bridge to dry before I can start building it up more. I actually don't need all this other pieces, so I need to work on the bachi, which is the pick for the shamisen. Again, the tuning pieces, the rods, which I'll have to go to the craft store or get. Yes, hot glue is wonderful for being minimal fuss, as long as you don't burn yourself. um, but yeah, so I still got some work on the shamisen, but I've actually made pretty good, decent progress. But I only have calendar. Let's see, so AUSA is the 8th. This is the 6th. So I've got 13th, 20th, 27th, and the 4th. So I've got 4 more cosplay streams to get this finished. Obviously, I will probably, as it gets closer to crunch time, I'll try to expedite that and whatnot. And then after AUSA, I'll go ahead and work on this bad boy, installing the mod kit to it, because I like my toy guns, to get ready for the next Nerf war, since that one did break in the last one. And then once that is done, the cosplay streams will go on hiatus probably for the rest of December into the first week of January, just because of the holidays. But Vorlon, thanks for coming, swinging by, saying hi, and throwing out ideas and whatnot. I will get the season finale of Terror Tuesday uploaded, finished and uploaded later this week. Come join us for Team Up Tuesday tomorrow, as we play Ultimate Chicken Horse with Orm, J-Jo, and Flex, along with myself. And then D&D stream should resume on Wednesday. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time.